Welcome back. My name is Antone. It's Crime Time with Tone Thursday. So today I'm going to talk about Alexis Sharkey. She was born in 1994. Sharkey's her married name. She was killed in November 2020. So she's originally from Pennsylvania. She graduated from the University of Pittsburgh in 2016. She moved to Odessa, Texas in about 2017, I believe, after she graduated. She graduated in 2016. When she was in Odessa, Texas, she was in a relationship. She was actually engaged, but the engagement had actually broken off, and she was working at Twin Peaks down there, which is like kind of like a Hooters restaurant, sports bar. So during her time working there, they had a regular customer named Tom Sharkey, and she kind of connected with him. He was a businessman. I worked in a big business in the oil field. He traveled a lot for his job, and Alexis, loved to travel, so she kind of connected with them. Because they both love to travel. So during her time working at Twin Peaks, she wanted to do a little bit more. She was working a lot, putting a lot of hours in, and she was tired of trading her time for money. So she kind of went into selling products. It's called Monet, is the hair product. It's an MLM business. Basically, it's a multi-level marketing business. It's basically, you have independent contractors up under you. You're trying to sell a product, sell the lifestyle. They refer to it as a pyramid scheme. Like the people at the top make the most, and the people at the bottom, there's a lot of people at the bottom who either don't make much, or a lot of people actually fail at it. But she actually did pretty good. She actually moved her way up to executive director within like a month. So she ended up doing that full time and quitting her job at the Twin Peaks restaurant. And during this time, she became big on social media. And during her time on social media, and that's when she kind of got a lot of followers, and her career took off. She got engaged with Tom in 2019, and they actually moved to Colorado. They didn't stay in Colorado long. They actually moved back to Houston, or they moved back to Texas to Houston, originally in Odessa, Texas. So they moved back, and even though her life was shown on social media as being great with Tom, and her job and money, that's the thing with social media. Looks like, everything's great and living a great lifestyle and the relationship's great, but outside of that, she was actually really having marital problems with Tom. So she met a lot of friends here in Houston. They would group chat a lot, hang out a lot, but she said their friends said she would never talk about Tom much. And so during 2020, during the quarantine, like most people, they got into TikTok. So she got into the TikTok thing. Was actually pretty big on TikTok and making funny videos. And she did that and really successful at it, along with her career in marketing. So November 26, 2020, which was Thanksgiving, she had dinner at a friend's house, Thanksgiving dinner, but Tom wasn't there, which kind of unusual. I mean, you don't know exactly if Thanksgiving means a lot to her or not, but it's kind of weird. Her husband wasn't there, but she actually planned on having a movie night a couple nights later with her friends, but the movie night ended up not happening. So the day after, on Black Friday, nobody had heard from her, which is kind of odd. Black Friday is really a big day, especially for her in marketing, to post a lot and kind of sell her product. But she didn't post anything at all, and they knew that wasn't like her. Her friend said they last heard from her on the 26th, late that night. I think it was like 6:30, in a group text, talking about the movie night, date night that they're gonna have the following night after. So on that Friday night, 27th, Tom texted one of Alexis's friends' boyfriend, saying, he hasn't heard from her, and he told him about, they had a fight and all this other kind of stuff. But it was kind of weird because he texted him about a serious situation. So it's a lot of noise over here, sorry. But he texted him about a serious situation, but the guy ended up calling him a little bit later. They talked for like 45 minutes. He said that the conversation was kind of weird. He said Tom kept kind of changing the story a little bit. At this time, friends and family start to get worried. Her friends go to look for her. Went to her house, or her apartment, and nobody answered. So on the morning of November 29th, friends are posting about her missing and seeing if anybody seen her. But what they don't know, that the police, well, actually one of the city workers here in Katy, Texas, had actually found a body here in the ditch. So I'm actually at the location where they found her body. So it's, as you can see, it's on the side road of a busy interstate. And then down there, it's just really not much over there, a lot of other land and stuff. But her body was found right here. So the body was found here. They said the person who found her body said she was clean. She didn't have any markings on her. They originally didn't know over the actual body. They thought it was like a mannequin at first because she was so clean. But this is where they found her. So it seemed that they just dumped the body off here and then kind of took off down the road. So I'm at the apartment complex of where Tom and Alexis stayed at. So this is what, can't go in, but this is the nice apartment complex. But continuing on with the story, so like I said, she was described as clean when she was found on the side of the road. So cops didn't know, at this point, they didn't have any signs of, any kind of trauma or anything. So they thought it was either, drugs, poison, something like that. Anyway, they called in Tom, and he was able to identify the body as being Alexis. And during this time, when they're trying to investigate, the friends were saying that she was trying to get a divorce. She had divorce papers already ready, and they had already discussed it. The friend said that she was scared for her life, and they're still trying to get information from Tom, and he's talking to the police, but like I said, his story keeps on changing, so they can't get a straight story from him. And finally, in January, they did an autopsy, and it showed that she did die from strangulation. So at this time, they did rule it a homicide. So they're kind of looking into the death and looking on all the details and everything, and finally came and got evidence and went in to arrest him on September 29th. They had enough evidence to arrest him, and not sure how they got the evidence, but I'm thinking there was because there's a business over there where the ditch was, like right in front of it, there was like a beauty salon or something. So maybe eventually they got access to the cameras and seen him or his car dumping Alexis's body off there. But they went in to find him, and he was actually in Florida at the time, living with his daughter. So they went in to talk to him. They found him and talked to him for a minute at his daughter's apartment complex. And during the talk, Tom actually found a way to get away from the officers and ran upstairs and went into a closet and shot himself and took his own life before they could arrest him. But they did find the person who did it. Of course, it was Tom, and people had pretty much labeled him as the killer. They just didn't know for sure with evidence and stuff like that. So, but he's pretty much suspect number one for a long time. But anyway, so that's the story of Alexis. She's actually buried in her home state of Pennsylvania, so can't go by there. But that is it for now. Like I said, tune in Thursdays. I'll do a show every Thursday, Crime Time with Tone. So thank y'all for tuning in. I'll holler at y'all later.